Over 90% of non-technical interview questions fall into one of two categories: behavioral questions and situational questions. And traditionally, we've been told the best way to prepare is to research these questions online, write down the ones related to the roles you're applying for, and prepare our answers. But this method is extremely inefficient now that we have access to AI tools. So in this video, we'll first go over the only two frameworks you need to pass both types of questions. Then I'll share the ChatGPT prompts that will drastically speed up your preparation process. Let's get started. First, a quick recap. Behavioral questions are all about how you handled specific situations in the past, and these questions usually start with, tell me about a time when something happened. For example, tell me about a time when you handled a difficult team member, or give me an example of a time you felt overwhelmed at work and how you dealt with it. Situational questions, on the other hand, are all about hypothetical scenarios you would not have come across. And these questions often begin with, imagine if, or what would you do if X occurred? For example, what would you do if you made a mistake no one noticed? Or imagine an irritated customer demands an impossible request. What would you do? Now that we know the difference between the two, let's see how we can use the CARL framework to prepare for any behavioral questions we might encounter. CARL stands for context, action, results, and learning. And it's much more effective than the STAR method, because by sharing your learnings, you show that yes, you've achieved positive results in the past, but also you know how to replicate those positive results in the future. This makes so much sense when you realize the entire point of behavioral questions is so that the interviewer can guesstimate how well you would perform in the new role. So I honestly don't understand why the CARL method doesn't get talked about more. Anyways, here's a ChatGPT prompt that will save you a bunch of time. Based on my resume, write me an answer to the behavioral interview question, tell me about a time when you handled a difficult team member. Use one specific example from my work experiences. Use the CARL answer format: context, action, results, and learning. Keep the answer concise and do not go above 260 words. Here's my resume, and you paste your resume. And while ChatGPT is working, drop a like and subscribe if you're getting value from this video, but if not, feel free to click the dislike button twice. Okay, we now have a structured answer: context, action, results, and learnings, tailored to our own experiences. Rinse and repeat for all behavioral questions you come across, and don't worry, I'll go over exactly how to find relevant behavioral questions towards the end. If you're interviewing right now though, I highly recommend using Teal's amazing job tracker tool. It's literally a free Chrome extension. It pops up when I'm on job sites like LinkedIn, and it pulls a salary range from the JD straight away so you don't waste time researching roles below your expectations. And I just like to copy the connections information here and paste it into the notes field so that when I open the job tracker page and go to notes, I'm reminded of connections I can reach out to for help. Teal's literally the only resume company I've agreed to work with because of how useful their product is. For example, on the home screen, I can see which stage I'm at for all the jobs I'm applying for. I can change this to negotiating, and this automatically updates. And my favorite feature by far is these friendly reminders for each stage of the job application process. For example, when I'm interviewing, I need to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. I genuinely wish this tool existed back in my day. I can't believe all these features are free. Try them out using the link down below. Thank you, Teal, for sponsoring this video. Next up, let's go over how the foolproof RCS framework can help us answer any situational question. RCS stands for rephrase a question, clarify the problem, structure your thoughts. Diving right into an example.
Jeff, imagine an irritated customer demands an impossible request. What would you do?
To make sure I got it right, you're asking how I would handle an upset customer who's asking for something we can't realistically provide, correct?
Yep, that's right.
In that case, can I please clarify what type of request the customer is making? Is the request impossible due to company policy, resource constraints, or some other reason? Have we faced similar requests before? If so, how were they handled? Got it. Can I please get 1 minute to structure my thoughts? Some of you are probably smirking right now. What a dumb way to answer the question. Actually, hang on. Jeff didn't even answer the question. Don't hate me for saying this, but the answer isn't the point here. Situational questions are hypothetical scenarios you haven't encountered before. So interviewers know smart candidates will need some time to think through their answers. The RCS framework helps you achieve exactly this. It buys you time in a natural, non-awkward way, and it shows the interviewer you won't blurt out the first thing that comes to your mind. To make your life easier, here's another ChatGPT prompt you can use to prepare for situational questions. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, I'll leave the link to all the prompts down below, but basically you input the interview question, share the RCS framework, and ask ChatGPT to give you an example answer after going through each step of the RCS framework. Pro tip, try asking ChatGPT or Google Bard for an answer without sharing the RCS framework. I promise you that output is going to be way worse. Now that we're completely comfortable answering both behavioral and situational questions, here's how to find targeted interview questions related to the role you're applying for. First, surprise, surprise, open up ChatGPT and input this prompt. You are a seasoned hiring manager with over 20 years of experience. You are responsible for this job posting. Based on this job description, what are the 10 most common behavioral interview questions you will ask job applicants? Here's the job description, and you paste the job description. Rinse and repeat by replacing behavioral with situational, and after compiling a list of highly relevant questions, use the Carl and RCS frameworks to prepare for all of them. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to check out my playlist on the most common interview questions and answers. See you on the next video. In the meantime, have a great one.